Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Travis with Big Boy Toy Reviews, back with another review. This time we are taking a look at Lucina from a Fire Emblem Awakening. I know absolutely nothing about this game. It was a Nintendo game, apparently, or a DS game or something. And I only know about this character through Smash Brothers, and that's the only reason that I got the character, because I'm making a Smash Brothers display. This character was long awaited, to say the least. She was announced sometime last year. She was supposed to come out at the beginning of the year. That didn't happen. She was supposed to come out, I think, toward the middle of the year, or middle of the summer or something like that, and she still didn't come out. And so they released all these other awesome figures, and then they finally released her. I was looking forward to her because all the product shots made it look like she was awesome. And now that I have her in hand, I'm not saying that she's not a good figure. She's just not as good as I expected her to be. You know, I compare everything to Saber 2.0. To me, that is the best Figma figure that's been made to date, and that includes I and I think it's even better than the Sasuke Kiryuin figure from Kill La Kill. But that's what I compare him to. That's the top echelons to me for 2015. So anything even to that or close to that is a good or a fantastic figure, and then it just goes down from there. So I would put her in the middle of the road, really, and I'll explain why. Before I get to her, though, I am going to go take a look at the box before we get to the accessories. So this is the box here, Figma 245. You got the Nintendo seal there, Nintendo, I guess, seal of approval, you can say. Then we got some product shots here. We got her looking off to the side, I guess. I don't know. Then we got some product shots here on the back. Let's take a look at those. Bam, 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 bam. Then of course we got the other uh, side picture of her in her alternate head piece, which looks pretty cool. And then of course we have the top of the box with her blushing face, and the bottom of the box with her more stern face. That's pretty much it for the box. Standard Figma box, and then you got the there's a DI stage in the back there that's yellow and really means nothing. As far as accessories are concerned, we'll go ahead and start with the alternate head here, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I feel like my mask is a little crooked. The light is not really doing it any justice, but it's nice and glossy. The hair sculpt is nice. I wish, again, I wish Figma would put a little more lines in the top of the head, but they don't seem to really care. She has two hands for holding things. She has two open hands that are just kind of open, and I guess just for, laying, or just kind of laying on her shoulder, laying on her leg or something. I don't know. And then she has like style pose hands, or like some splayed hands. Where then she comes with one alternate hand that is made to for her to be in her little signature pose. That's on the back of the box. Sorry for my fingers and nails and stuff being so dirty. I was working on my bike, and not all of the oil and stuff came off of it. But here's her alternate face here. The eyes are nicely done, which Figma is kind of known for. That eye is weird looking, and it has like some circles in it, like some extra circles in it. I assume that's how it's supposed to be. And here's the sword. And the sword is nicely done. I like the metallic gold and metallic silver that they have on the blade there. Sculpted really nicely. And then they have this extra piece, which I'll explain later. Then here's the figure here. The cape is removable, so I guess you can call that an accessory as well. It's done really nicely. She sculpted really nicely. I like the strap here. It's a floating piece, so you don't have to worry about it getting in the way as far as articulation is concerned. I like how they did that, how they made it basically a separate piece. I'll go ahead and take the cape off here really quick. And the cape is it's attached with this little single peg. I think the Attack on Titan figures had that same peg in the back for their capes, for their core. I forgot what their little thing was called, but she's basically the same. Her hair here is a soft piece, but all of this is hard and not articulated, which is weird for Figma. They usually give you some nice articulation in his back hair, and they did not do that for her. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but the soft pieces of hair are slightly different blue than the solid piece of hair. I'm not quite sure if that's accurate or not. I'm starting to think, I'm hoping that Figma starts to stray away from the hard back hair and just start making the hair all flexible like this. Make them all soft plastic pieces like this. Make the entire thing at least, I don't know how much extra it costs to make the softer hair, but I think they need to start going in the direction of trying to make every part of the hair soft, because a lot of these Figmas, you don't get to take advantage of a lot of the articulation because the hair, or the head articulation, because the hair is always so stiff that you can't get any up movement with it. And so I mean, she's not as bad as a lot of them, but I think they need to start going in that direction instead of sticking to this hard hair. Anyway, so her sheath is here, and this is what that other piece is for. So if you want to simulate her having her sword in the sheath, then you just kind of pop that piece in. I think it's completely lazy. I think it's complete bullshit. And it would have been no problem to make this sheath a little bit thicker and be able to slide this sword in there. I don't know why they're transitioning over to doing that, but it's pretty frustrating to me anyway. Let's go ahead and get to articulation, and that is one of the areas where she's not lacking, but some of her joints are kind of wacky. So as far as the cape is concerned, it's done really well, actually. I actually like the way that it looks in the back. It covers up gaps really well. If you want to get it up, you have to kind of spread it out, and then there's going to be a little gap, but that's okay. She has a nice little emblem on her cape there. That's nicely done and nicely sculpted. That's pretty much it for the articulation of the cape. It has two little Figma joints on it, and you can just kind of rotate it and do all kinds of things with it. I'll show you the joints here. It's just two little standard Figma joints, nothing special, really. If you've seen a Figma cape, you've seen most Figma capes then. As far as her head articulation, like I said earlier, she can't really look up much. She can only look up about that much. She can look down a good amount. I guess that's a decent amount. Bicep swivel. She can get her arm parallel. Bicep swivel there at the shoulder. These little shoulder pieces are slightly articulated. I think they're on little ball joints or little pegs there. So you can just rotate those on that peg. She does have 90 degrees and over 90 degrees in the elbow. You can get a little spin out of that elbow there. So that's cool. You do have this little piece there on her forearm covers it up, but you do have some rotation there in the forearm if you can spin it around a little bit. But yeah, that moves around. I'm not quite sure how. I mean, I guess to keep this uniform, I guess that works that way. You can keep that little piece uniform when you're spinning the arm around. So I guess that makes sense. Standard Figma wrist joint. Just a wrist peg, a hinge and a straight peg there. She does have an ab crunch. This suit here is a soft plastic, so she can get a little bit of an ab crunch. It doesn't stay, but it is there. And just to prove it, if you look on the back here, if you crunch it down, you can't really see the joint in there, but you can see that there is an ab crunch built in there. Unlike a lot of Figmas that I've seen, she has a ridiculous waist twist. I mean, she can twist all around. She has, for especially a female character, I rarely have seen a waist twist in them. So she has a waist twist as well. Upper bicep swivel. She also has a cut here right above the knee that swivels. She has over 90 degrees there in the knee. She can get her leg up pretty damn high, and she can get it back pretty far. She has a hinge in the boot there. It goes up and down. Then she has this weird ankle tilt that I have never seen Figma do, but I think like Play Arts Kai may have done this before, and maybe even like Marvel Legends have done this before, but I don't know. I hope this is not going to be the standard, but she has this weird ankle tilt that tilts the entire bottom of the shoe. Kind of makes it look like she has slippers on. And I mean, it works, but it's kind of ugly. Another thing I noticed about my figure anyway is that her shins are kind of warped. They're like her knees are warped. And so her shins are, I don't know, her shins are like spread out. It's weird. I tried a couple of different things. I tried switching out the knees. That didn't really seem to fix it. So it might just be my figure. So you guys might not have to worry about that. But anyway, let's do some comparisons here just so you can kind of see what she looks like in comparison or in scale with some other Figmas and maybe even some from other lines. Let's see. I got here's my standard that I said that I judge all Figmas off of, and this is Saber 2.0. See how she scales with her. It would seem that they're almost about even. The camera makes it look like Lucina is a little bit taller, but she is not. Actually, Saber might have her on height there a little bit there. But that's Saber. Here is Asuna from Sword Art Online. What's funny is that when I was getting these figures to bring home here, and she's clearly shorter than Lucina. Like Asuna is a short character, so even for a female character, she's short. But what's funny is when I was getting these things ready for work, I knew Lucina was coming in through the mail, but I didn't know that my other Asuna was coming in the mail. So I got two of these. I think I said that in a previous video that I had two of those. Here she is next to Link. Much skinnier than Link. But this is the link that I'm using for my Smash Brothers display. So I don't know how in scale that really is. I don't feel like they're really in scale, to be honest with you. But I guess it is what it is. Let's see. Here we go. We got a SH Figuarts Harley Quinn. Just to kind of give you an idea of what she looks like next to a Figuarts figure, and she's clearly taller than Lucina. I love this figure. She's on my top list there this year so far. Here she is next to a male Figma, Solid Snake, who's looking really weird, and he is clearly taller. Whoa. That was almost a disaster. Lost half of his body. And here she is with Solid Snake. And as you can see, Solid Snake is clearly taller than she is. Figma Solid Snake. Let me swap the other head out so you guys can kind of see what that looks like. And there she is again with Solid Snake. And I think that is pretty much it. That is all I brought with me today. I did want to, because I'm so pissed off about them not making this a sword that can actually go inside the sheath. I brought some other examples of swords that Figma makes that it's not a problem going in the sheath, which are the three characters that I've shown you already. Here we got Asuna's sword in its sheath, and actually is in there really sturdy. You can put it in there and it won't fall out, and it's cool. It stays. Here's Link's sword. There's nothing wrong with that one. Really cool sword. That slides in there now. Saber's sword, you can't shake it too much. You can't get it in there, and just by friction alone, it'll stay in there. But it's just an example of like the effort that Figma used to go through to make swords and make them nicely and make the sheets nicely and make them actually usable, like as if you were actually pulling it out of a sheath. But now they're just being lazy about it. They did it on Satsuki Kiryuin, and now they're doing it on Lucina, and it's rather disappointing. But either way, they did it. I got the figure. It's nothing I can do about it. So we'll leave it as it is. But that's pretty much it for the review, guys. Subscribe, like, and comment. As far as the figure is concerned, I think it's a good figure. I don't think it's a must get for most people, to be honest with you, unless you just like the character or you're trying to make a Smash Brothers display like I am. But for the 76, I mean, with shipping, it was $76 for her. And as you can see, she hardly comes with any accessories. And she's pretty much sold out everywhere anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it's up to you whether she's worth getting or not. Like I said, in those instances, you might as well go ahead and snatch her up if you're trying to make the display or if you just like the character in general. But other than that, guys, keep collecting, stay safe, peace out.